Something tells me I need to work on a new intro because that one just seems too plain now.
I mean, we could just, episode 69 style, we'll just go to a con and you wear a t-shirt and we'll get a bunch of cosplay chicks and some beer and just be like, all right, we're going to record for the next 5 minutes, whatever you do.
And just pick from the best scenes and just make
Totally.
it. Yeah, we could easily do it.
Totally.
Anyways, guys, welcome to AniBreak, the show that normally breaks down the hottest topics in anime, manga, and video games, but today is going to be different. I'm joined with my good friend Carl here. You might know him online as Conway Stern 001. Which is a
what is wrong with me?
well, many things. One, you're friends with me, and that just says a lot about me.
Yes.
But yeah, we're just sitting here. We're gonna talk about random stuff from news and anime, stuff going on in video games, con drama that we know of, and there's a lot of that. And in the meantime, we'll always have plenty of drinks.
Yes.
So.
11% awesome Allagash beer. I recommend it. It's seasonal. Go buy it now.
Move the mic a little closer to you on that.
Sorry.
No, it's all good, because I know I enunciate and bring my voice out there, but, whatever.
Yeah, I'm quiet. I just smile at people and stab them in the back.
That's what you gotta do. First thing, I was going to talk about from a Sega fan in the chats, talking about Skullgirls. This is a 2D fighting game that's actually designed and put together stateside. And it's a hell of a lot of fun. I have it on my PS3. And they've been working on a new Indiegogo, basically a different version of Kickstarter, that they're going to use whatever money they get to expand new characters, new voice packs, all the things. They were only initially asking for, I think, $150,000. I chipped in because
a video game.
This is for an expansion to a game that's already out.
Oh,
yeah, expansion to a game that's already out.
Oh, I was going to say
That's
interesting math.
Okay, the gameplay is very similar to the Guilty Gear Blaze Blue style.
Oh.
It's actually pretty cool.
Nice.
And the reason why I backed up this campaign, because, I already have it on the PS3. If you back them up on this thing, you get a PC version.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
You get into the beta for that.
I see.
It's pretty win. They only have like 6 hours left in this campaign, and they've blown it out of the... Oh, my God. As of this moment, they're at $767,831.
With 5 hours to go.
Yeah, I've already contributed just the basic level backer of $36 because I want that, the PC port. But the reason you want this is because of what some of the perks are. If you play some of the games, you get... Or if you played the game before, you can get new characters, new, voice packs. I know Christina V does a couple of voice packs, so we can see what happens with that.
That's cool.
But they had an outstanding goal that if they reached $725,000, they would give their custom fighting engine to the main 6 guys, and right now they've beaten that.
Oh.
So
who am I stealing this engine from? They published the email addresses, right?
I'm sure you can find them.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Because, personally, Fighting as Magic needs to come out already, and that engine's kind of weak because it's all Flash-based,
right.
So...
I think maybe after tonight, after the show, I think I'll sit you down and play Skullgirls so you can check out what they do on that.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you'll see, it's pretty close to, the Guilty Gear style.
Yeah, to, BBM.
Oh, it's
that
so
great.
Nice. So, but yeah, they're hitting a ridiculous amount of fans and cash, and it's great. So that's going on. It ends tonight. If you guys haven't, let me rephrase that. If you guys are watching this live and you guys have not supported it,
go now.
Yeah,
go.
Just Indiegogo.com. Just search for Skullgirls, all one word, and just help them out. It's freaking amazing. And because the fact it's a freaking PC port.
Oh, that's rad. Nobody ever does anything for PC anymore.
Console, okay, fine.
My only hope for console right now is that, and the PC harmony is the fact that fucking PS4 is going to be x86, which is awesome.
We've already gone through that, though.
That means all my payloads will work.
Let's talk about... let's talk about this thing real quick. You guys apparently are huge fans of the Nanoha franchise. It's been announced they got a 3rd film on the way. I will make a confession. I have not seen a single bit of Nanoha, and I've been every person I've said that to, they've always smacked me and said either, here's a thumb drive, download it, or or you come to my house and watch it. I've never seen a bit of it.
Me either.
And the thing is, people will say it's amazing, it's huge. And
No idea. Nope.
yeah.
Not a thing.
I mean, hell,
Missed
it
that
took to
whole-
episode 4 or 5 of Madoka for me to get interested.
Yeah, same thing.
Yeah.
I actually, like, I was sold off on it, and then you had called me one day. I forgot what country I was in. I was working. And you were like, okay, look, your next flight, you should get this, and sent me some link, and that was the end of that. And then I watched it on the plane, and I was like, oh, God.
And then
this
we
is
were
totally
we were
worth it.
enjoying it, and then we all got to episode 10, and we're like, oh.
Yeah, oh. It's kind of like, you know, like when you tell people to watch Gurren Lagann for the first time, and everybody says it gets really boring for the first 3, and then you tell them watch till episode 7.
They turn in and go, what the
Yeah. And then they call you and tell you you're a dick. And then they finish the show, and they're like, it's awesome.
So, yeah. Apparently, Nanaho's getting the 3rd movie. I haven't seen it yet. A buddy of ours, Josh, claims he's going to sit me down and make me watch all of that I've missed. But the last series that he got me into that I subsequently dropped because it was so long was One Piece.
One Piece.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
Oh,
One Piece is
God.
fun. And if I ever get enough free time to sit down and watch the rest of it, I will.
One Piece is better to read, honestly. It's kind of like Naruto. You know what I mean?
I've heard, yeah.
Because after a while, it just sounds like children screaming. And, you know, I don't reproduce for a reason. Fuck that. That's just not a thing.
True.
Like, if I was going to watch something that was similar to Naruto because I wanted those kind of powers, like, that's why I watch Basilisk. Because it's basically like Naruto for
Basil's
grown-ups.
just freaking amazing. Yeah.
It's Naruto for grown-ups. It's like they took Ninja Scroll and gave them all Naruto powers and made a 12-episode series full of sex and craziness and said, here you go.
Yeah. I mean, the series that go really long, I rarely have sat and watched all of it. Like,
Yeah.
even, you know, okay, let's go.
Kenshin.
Kenshin. Well, I finished Kenshin.
Inuyasha.
I haven't finished Inuyasha.
Okay.
I'm a couple things behind that.
Okay. Dragon Ball.
Dragon Ball, I finished.
Yeah.
I
I
Rama 1/2, I
I
finished.
unfortunately have seen everything from Dragon Ball, all the way through the end, like every movie, all the way through GT, like everything.
Really?
I do not recommend it. Part of me is now dead because I've done this. It is not okay. And I've done it more than once. I did it once completely in Japanese and then once completely in English. Do not recommend. You will not survive.
Why?
It's a long story and involving way too many drugs, and yeah.
All right.
This is what happens when you go to anime cons in Amsterdam. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, jeez. All right, let's. What is it? Sega fan in the chat. Carl, to quote Kevin Pereira, you need to nature that shit.
Yes, yes. Unfortunately, I am not known for historically doing wise things between my body and drugs. Yeah, no, there's totally. It's oh man, I forget what it's called. It's a Ghana, whatever it is. It's a Dutch comic / anime con. Right after the Hakenthra festival, which is funny because Hakenthra is basically like the gay pride of Europe.
Right.
And it's like epic, like right in the middle of Amsterdam Central, there's like the red light district where it's just like all the drugs and all the prostitutes and it's right. It's like Satan Alley. And then like you turn like, okay, so it's here, right? And then like you have the airport, you take the train into Central, like 3 stops. And then you get on like the stupid little tram, which goes in all these directions, and you go 1 stop towards the finance the finance district.
Right.
And you know, there's tons of like little tributaries and stuff, and like the local like the creek, like river thing that goes through the finance district has a bridge over it. And you cross that bridge and there's this cobblestone street that's been there for like 3,000 years or something crazy like that, like since like the fucking Romans, right?
Okay.
And it's just filled with like if you didn't know any better, you'd think it was nothing but hard gay cosplay. There's just dudes walking the street in like assless chaps and like picking up other random dudes with like one hand because they're all crazy ripped and just making out. And like then like the street over is all the chicks and like the straight people kind of walk between and like no one cares and it's awesome. And like the week before that is this anime con, so like it's
you get them all into that,
it's every level of insanity. The problem is it's in Amsterdam, which means all the drugs are there. And,
You make it sound like a problem.
yeah, well, little column A, little column B.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, what else is going on?
Ponies are getting manga.
Yes.
Ponies are getting manga.
I don't talk about too much on this show. I talk about pony stuff mostly on the other show, From Your Mother's Basement, for 2 reasons. One, it kind of this is mostly supposed to be for anime, manga, video games, and that's for everything geek. And I could put bronies in that.
But porn is universal.
And
let's face it.
I'm getting to that.
Okay.
The second reason is because Michael, being a furry, he thinks as bronies as, oh, that's so cute. No, and so it kind of like.
Yeah,
Schadenfreud's in full effect when I do that show. Let's just say that.
I kind of think of Michael as if, like, Princess Molestia had a brother. But like he was awesome. He's like the shining armor to Princess Molestia.
You have no idea how accurate that is,
right?
The reason why I'm bringing it up is we've talked about before. My Little Pony is getting a Japanese dub. They announced all the voice actresses. The majority of them are the same girls who voice characters in Milky Holmes, so it kind of fit.
Yeah.
They announced Twilight Sparkle and Rainbow Dash's voice actresses, and that was kind of surprising of who they got. And this last weekend at the Tokyo Anime Fair, Bushiroad's booth was pretty big. But it had a big pink motif.
Oh, God.
Because you go around the back, it's all My Little Pony.
Oh, God.
Which means if it's Bushiroad, which means there's got to be a card game attached to it. Eventually. That
might be cool.
It might be cool.
Maybe.
But the reason, like I said, while we're bringing this up, it's been announced that My Little Pony has a manga in the works. A fully legit manga in the works. So, you already have a ton of fan art for the franchise. And then you guys know what doujinshi artists can do. Then you take that and go ponies. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, like Slash Clap will never be the same. Ever.
No, it won't.
My phone is ringing.
Your phone is ringing.
Ignore my phone. It's not important.
It's all fine.
Yeah, Slash Clap will never be the same.
The person I wanted to bring up who's voicing Twilight Sparkle is Miyuki Sawashiro. And she's done a crap ton of not only video games, but also manga. Everything Digimon Rat, Strike Witches, Galaxy Angel. Even the video games, Tales of Zillia, Way of the Samurai, Blaze Blue.
Blaze Blue.
I'm like, I was expecting like half-ass behind this,
no.
people just getting away. No, it was like,
nah. I think they know cash cow when they see it.
That's true.
I mean, there's so much international fandom for the original show already. Like they kind of get it,
That's true. Sega fan, hope Crunchyroll gets the Japanese dub. The day I see My Little Pony on Crunchyroll,
dude, bro, we're having a drinking game. Like we're gonna do a show that day. I don't care what day it is. Like I will remote in from whatever freaking country, and like we will power hour through that shit.
Which, if you're in town, we'll do a power hour next week.
Okay.
And see if you guys can actually keep up.
Oh yeah. No, we should do a power hour show. See what everybody got.
Explain a power hour to them.
So a power hour is drinking for an hour, and usually it's done. There's actually there's an app for that, right? There's tons of applications that do this because you play music and it just picks random things from a playlist. So the way it works is you get a whole bunch of beer and you pour shots, and every minute you take a shot of beer. Now that sounds like it's crazy, but alcohol-wise, it's not that bad because a shot is about an ounce. So if you're doing an entire hour of shots, it's really only like 5 beers over the course of an hour, which is no big deal.
Yeah.
But you're putting air in your stomach each time you do it, and beer is carbonated. And it's like, you don't do it with good beer, because good beer settles, and then you just feel terrible. But, you do it with like Corona or Bud Light or Hamm's or some shit beer. Personally, I like Corona, because, my bullshitometer has limits. But the first 10, 20 are totally easy, and you totally get into conversation. You start hanging out with your friends, and the music's playing, and it just picks random songs, and that turns into a conversation topic of itself. And really, once you get into like the 40, 50 left mark, you get like 20, 30 in, then everybody kind of looks around and like, oh, now I get it. And what it is, you just start getting full. You don't really get drunk. You just get full. And it's hard to just keep all that liquid down because of the air gaps. And it's like, some people play with different rules where they have like skip drinking and stuff like that. Personally, those people are bitches. So fuck that. But yeah, it's an adventure. It's fun. You buy a 24-pack of Corona with like 4 people and you finish it in an hour. And by the end of it, you're like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll have that either next week or the following week. So that'll be fun. Let's go back stateside for a moment. I'm liking the trend that Funimation's doing that for a lot of their major releases, they're giving a theatrical release stateside.
Yeah.
I'm really stoked for this. Another company, G Kids, we've talked about it many times before. They bought the theatrical rights to a number of Ghibli films, the non-Hayao Miyazaki ones.
Right.
And they've recently brought, From Up on Poppy Hill, stateside. Initially, it was going to be like, here's a small set of like 20 theaters across the country. No, it's freaking playing almost everywhere.
It's playing in Hollywood.
Yeah. Hollywood, Santa Monica, LA, Seattle, Dallas, New York, Chicago.
Even up in Santa Cruz.
It's all over the place.
A couple places in the Bay, a couple places in North San Francisco, and up in North Bay.
I'll hopefully see it sometime next week. But that's for G Kids that's posting that. Funimation, thankfully, they're starting to spread their screenings of The Wolf Children, Mamoru Hosoda's latest film. And that one is amazing. I've seen some preview clips of it. I've read many reviews. The guy has done primo work with facts. 5 centimeters per second, Summer Wars. I mean, great stuff.
Especially like visual work.
Oh, geez,
because I mean, which is really hard to find. Like, I mean, these days, especially with the budgets going, like usually when the budgets go, like the visual animation is the stuff that goes first because it's easy to farm it to Korea. But
well, dude, just the whole industry in Japan is changing. I mean, I used to know a crap ton of people in the industry in Japan. I still know a decent amount, but many people that I know...
Well, even the indie studios that we used to work with back in like 04 and 05 when we were first doing content stuff are like gone. Or they're totally absorbed into like some giant conglomerate where they still let them play every once in a while. But you know, most of the time they're just like, sit here, here's the story thing that this other guy wrote from this other movie. Sit there and draw, you minion. Like,
I know Madhouse's, they have their problems.
Yeah.
Sunrise is coming out of the blue with a brand new series. It's another mech series out of all things.
Right, I know. Right.
But
I don't know. Madhouse has done okay recently. I liked Redline. Redline was cool.
Redline was awesome. Took him 7 years to design it and make it, but hey, when you do all of it hand drawn animation,
I'd rather rate for more Redlines than deal with like 20% of the crap that comes out of that neck of the woods. Otherwise,
I think like one of the only companies that's doing decently well enough to spin off a smaller sister studio is Production IG.
Yeah.
I mean, they have Wit Studio, which is working on the Attack on Titan anime, which just looks unbelievably epic.
It's just crisp. It's clean.
But talking about Production IG, you've heard my response about Ghost in the Shell Arise. Carl, what's your response?
I'm still hard from the first response, so... I mean, I can wait for that to go down and give a second one, or like, I'm a nerd. I'm a giant, like hacker anime nerd who works in security who doesn't like Ghost in the Shell. No, that's not a thing. Like even non-anime fans in the security industry that I know have heard about it, and they're totally like, when he comes out, we're totally flying someplace, and we're getting a giant theater, and we're all watching it, and we're all getting hammered.
Every hacker convention I've gone to, they always have a small movie room, and they always play Ghost in the Shell.
And the trailers that have come out for it, that are starting to leak out for it, are fucking ridiculous.
Okay, well, here's my thing, though, about it. Okay, new Ghost in the Shell.
Right.
Perfect. I'm totally for this. The music is not done by Yoko Kanno, but it's done by Cornelius, which is pretty good.
Like we don't... Come on.
Production IG is still doing the work on it.
Right.
But my biggest concern right now is the character design. Everybody
it's supposed to be old school. Remember, it's supposed to be the pre-generation. Okay. So I don't know. I understand why, if they were gonna change, that now is the time to do it because it matches with the plot. You know what I'm saying?
I'm all for it. I understand the fact that the characters need to be look younger because this is a prequel to everything.
Right.
And Bato and Togusa, I mean, they all look younger versions of themselves.
And for the most part, with the exception of Bato, they've changed the cyber bodies every time they've done an incursion of the show.
This is true.
To some degree.
Yes. I'm just not a fan of Motoko's redesign. I know it's supposed to be a younger version, which basically means she's in a different body. Yeah. I understand that. It's just taken me a while to...
Adapt.
Yeah. From, a guy who...
It's Uncanny Valley. It's Uncanny Valley.
It is.
But to some degree, like, that's kind of the point, right? Because when you're talking about people, like, if I were to take your brain and put it in somebody else's body, the Uncanny Valley is part of that technology. Right. But that's part of that tech, right? Like, the process of working through the Uncanny Valley is, in a sense, built into the era. So
True.
it's kind of an implied message in the animation style. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you kind of want to cause that uncanny valley. That way it produces this, you know, artificial line of evolution as to where, like, you know, when we couldn't quite get it right to when we got it right to when we got it really right. You know?
Right. Well, I'll say this. Regardless of all my concerns, is this going to stop me from watching it? Fuck no.
Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. I'm yes.
I mean, we have to wait till June.
Yes.
Well, June in Japan, which means, well, day after June for stateside, if you really want to look at it that
Or
way.
until
but-
we can beat someone on a street corner and steal it, but you know.
Or wouldn't be out of the room a possibility for us to just grab, I don't know, a flight to Japan and go. We know more than enough people over there.
I can neither confirm nor deny having contacts in that country. I may or may not have security contracts with certain people.
I know. I bet. Oh, let's see. What's in the chat here? We have Anime Guy 4. Hey, Jason and Carl, are y'all any Key fans? Key does all the visual novels.
Yeah, I don't really get a lot of time to do the visual novel thing, mostly just because of my work schedule.
I haven't done much of the visual novels.
I need to do more, I really do, but...
I mean, I've seen a lot of Key's anime adaptations of his works, you know, Clannad, Air.
I saw Air. Air was good.
Most recently, what was it? Little Busters. I have to say this, and I've said it before. When I started watching the series, it was 2:30 in the morning. I was drunk, and I caught up on everything else. Was not tired at all. I was like, I need to watch something.
Right.
Oh, Little Busters. I've heard people enjoy this. I'll go check it out. And I looked through the first episode, and I remember tweeting about this, like, what in the hell is this? Because it didn't make any sense to me whatsoever. And I was like, okay, I do my usual thing. I'll give it 6 or 7 episodes, see how it goes, going through it. I'm regretting that decision about 5 episodes in.
Really?
But I'm like, I got nothing else to watch. Screw it, I'm a masochist. You know, whatever.
Yes,
just go into
you are
it.
a masochist. This we've established.
Let's name the series that I should have dropped, but I kept on watching the whole thing through. I don't know, Kaleidostar, Kitty
God.
Grade.
Kitty Grade.
You guys give me shit for months about Kitty Grade.
What was that stupid? Damn it! It's another like little girl magical techie show. Fuck. And then they made a 2. And man, I can't remember. Keep going. I'll remember it.
Magical.
No,
I can't.
I'll remember it at some point. And be like, oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyways, started watching it, and then I got to about the halfway mark.
Hime.
My Hime.
You like, oh my god. And what was fucked up is because like it wasn't just like, oh, it's not that bad. It was like 4 episodes in, you were like, no guys, really, it's awesome. And then like 10 episodes in, you were like, I want to kill myself. I really hate the fact that I said that.
And yet I soldiered on and finished not only that, but the second season.
It didn't have his ending that was as bad as what the fuck, Soul Eater. Soul Eater was a worse ending.
Epic series, horrible ending.
God, that ending sucked.
I guess you can kind of same.
That was like that's probably the second worst. Like, oh my god, the studio collapsed. We can't finish this ending I've seen. Next to Air Gear, that was the worst.
Okay.
That was the fucking worst.
Air Gear was unbelievably epic. We agree on that. It was because the production company went out of business and they had to
Yes,
stop
which has
it.
happened before, but they handled that the worst.
This is true.
Like
This is true.
everybody else gets handled a pile of shit and puts it in the backyard, and then they deal with what they have left. Those fuckers made a rocket out of it and shot it over everybody else and spewed the failure. Like,
I think the only thing
God.
only thing that comes close to that is actually the Hellsing manga. Kota Arano,
Yeah.
he made the announcement. Volume 10 was going to be the end of it, and there was so much for him to freaking close up.
yeah.
And some things he closed up just fine.
They just wrote themselves into a corner.
They did.
Really.
They
There's
really
just
did.
nowhere to go.
Yeah.
I mean, even with like when they started doing the second they made the first series and then they started doing the second the new episodes. What the fuck am I talking about? Not Brotherhood. That's fucking FMA. The other you know what I'm talking about with like Crispin
Inuyasha?
Freeman. No, with Crispin Freeman and all like where they redid it with all the new voice actors and all the new like.
With Krispy Kreme?
Yeah, Krispy Kreme. I know, right? There was the original Hellsing, and then there was Ultimate.
Oh, Hellsing
when they started
Ultimate,
doing
yeah.
Ultimate, like it was gangster for like the first 2 or 3, but then like they clearly ran out of shit to do, like about 4 in, and that's why the time delineation started getting longer between the releases because they were like, what else do we do?
Well, the problem with that was more so along lines of the manga.
Yeah.
Because they're each volume or each episode of Ultimate wasn't a volume of the manga, and when you get to around episode or volume 4 or 5, there really wasn't much in terms of story there.
Yeah, it's nothing to do.
So
I don't know. That happens.
I just remember though,
And some
2005 Anime Expo in main events, we were sitting in the tech booth when they showcased the trailer for it, and the place went nuts.
That was ridiculous. I remember like they brought those girls with them to like remember they had handlers.
Yeah.
And they brought these like I don't know, they look Korean, but they're like these little skinny girls in like white skirts with like beer. And like they like, we gave them water and did whatever, and they walked in and like we played the music and dimmed the lights and made it all epic for them, and they thought it was really cool, and the room was like packed and people went stupid, and they walk up there on either side of the stage, and these two ridiculously hot chicks walk up on either side after them and hand them beers, and both of them they drink, cross arms, clink, slam beers on the table, and go in English, first question. It was awesome. Just
I
like
remember
total
that.
badasses.
Oh, God, we're jumping all over the place, but that's good. I like it though.
Oh, okay.
But going back to what I was saying initially before we went off on this massive tangent, which was Little Busters. About halfway through, I'm about ready to kill myself for watching this. I'm
Right.
sorry for all you Key fans. I wasn't a big fan halfway through it. But once I get to the halfway point, when all the characters go happy-go-lucky and whatnot, all their dark, fucked up backstory came to light, and they're all psychologically breaking down, I was like, oh my God!
So it's like Hello, Mr. Despair if you don't know what it's about.
Yes.
We're like,
Yes.
oh wow, this is really boring, until you're like, oh, they're just really broken.
Yes. So it's like, I've told people this time and time again. If you already are starting to watch the series, continue on. It gets better. For those of you who haven't started the series, don't. It's not worth it. To get through like 16 episodes to get to the good stuff is...
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Let's see. Anime Guy 4. What anime that Sentai Filmworks are going to release later this fall? Oh, gee, I forget what Sentai's going to announce. Sentai's been getting some good stuff lately. I mean, Sentai also being ADV 2.0.
Right?
Which, I mean, because when ADV went out, they separated into 4 different companies, and Sentai was one of them. Mm-hmm. I believe their distribution arm is Section 23 or something like that.
I think so.
But
Which you know is a Japanese management tactic, right? They do that for tax evasion.
yes, they do.
I mean, like, I don't want to get sued for libel or nothing, but I used to work for a Japanese porn company for 2 years. That's what the fuck it is. It's the same company. They
yes,
just,
you did.
They form into 4 companies, and then each company has like one client, and that one client is the parent organization. Like,
Yes.
it's a tax evasion tactic. It just works very well.
Granted, there's rumors of them trying to, get all back together to become ADV 2.0 officially.
Right, because they'll finally have the overhead to buy VC that way. But like,
True.
that's what you do. You
And
evade
then-
taxes and then take your profit and then go buy VC and go, yeah, we can pay you all back. How? Because we have all this money in the bank that we don't tell the government.
There you go. Well, we were talking about Anime Expo. Let's talk about it. Let's jump into the contra.
Not that I'm directly ratting anybody out, but that may be what happened to Stickham.
Stickham may have rest in pieces.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah. I'm gonna just shut my mouth on
So.
that one.
Well, before we get into the whole conundrum, I'm actually going to make the announcement, which is kind of interesting. My panel for, of all places, Anime Kanji, which is the new smaller con that the SPJA, or the Society for Promotion of Japanese Animation, bought.
Yep.
They approved my panel request.
They did.
They did. And I was like, okay. So there will be a From My Mother's Basement live panel at Anime Kanji. Don't ask me when or, what time. I have no idea.
They don't either. I know this because, well, probably shouldn't talk that much because I still work there. But like, yeah, there's a lot of Slack
What can
exchange
you say with
going
Mark
on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Slack exchange going on between the Kanji organization and the other members of the SPJA family that are like, hey, this is kind of broken. Can you help us? And help comes with like, an NDA and a right contract, and it's like, oh, I get it.
Oh, an NDA. That's cute.
Yeah.
Oh, SPJA. Lol. But yeah, I was really surprised because given my public spat with the CEO,
Yeah.
I was surprised they approved it. I'm not going to, bash him while I'm there, but
they're all about good content, frankly. I mean, it really is. It's coming back to content, at least for the events that they can market.
True.
And I mean, as much as I want to bash on certain things that I don't think
Justifiably so, but we're not going to get into that.
Right. But, like, honestly, like, right now, every con's going through some stuff, dude.
Every
like,
con has drama.
Like, oh, man.
From
like,
MTech to Sakura Con
Japan
to...
Expo is quoting numbers to their buyers that make absolutely no sense. AX is playing this same old. Even the companies in Japan that are silently funding small cons to try to build fan layout and then not telling people about it. Actually, one of them, I forget. Oh, man, I can't remember the company. There's somebody in Japan who just got fined for insider trading because they have an American consulate, or they have an American compromise to the company, and it turned out they owned a bunch of those small cons in Japan, and they were using them to artificially pump their own material, and they're just getting sued left and right. The corporate venture behind Emerald City just pulled out.
Emerald City Comic-Con?
Yeah, they just pulled out because one of their VCs is going to jail for insider trading. Like, the whole scene right now is so destroyed.
Well, every con has drama. Let me phrase it this way.
Don't even get me started on the Northwest.
A friend of mine has this.
Speaking of which, SakuraCon's going on right now, so...
Yeah, I wish I was there.
Stuff from there.
I wish I was there. A friend of mine made this comment about anime cons. Anime cons are run by anime fans. If you have a problem with this, see statement 1. It just makes perfect sense. Wherever you have a number of passionate fans who try to put on an organized event are always going to have problems.
And people talking about BronyCon in the chat, so there is evil there that does not sleep, and it comes from Ireland, and the reason being is because a lot of that money is appropriated from a larger production company that may or may not have also been the funding group that put forth the money for Balloon Party. So when certain people got to show up and do the Balloon Party silent release concert and other people didn't, when that deal fell through, a lot of that money magically went missing because it wasn't claimed when it got submitted online. Right. So,
yeah. Las Pegasus Unicon.
I'm not gonna necessarily name names, but things went missing.
Yeah, let's leave it at that. For that. Yeah, Las Pegasus Unicon was a disaster on that behalf. But yeah, every con, regardless if it's a furry con, anime con, sci-fi con, hell, Dragon Con.
The furry con.
Dragon Con has a shitload of drama right now because their founder is a known child molester.
Which is great because like WonderCon's getting attacked by the feminists of the world.
Yeah, WonderCon's
tomorrow because of some like girl is accusing one of the staff members of not only not reporting her report of sexual assault, I guess, allegation, but like I guess that's going someplace else now where it turned out that they may be guilty of some other stuff and people are coming forward, so like that's a giant problem. And oh man, there's so much stuff going on right now. It's so ridiculous. The whole scene is just insanity.
For those of you who have the inkling of I'm going to create a con where
AWA is another one. They're in massive beef with the organization that has a lot of stuff over in Florida right now.
AWA, anything in Florida, which is, well, a lot of them are run by one man. There's always drama against different cons. What's there? The AX versus Otakon drama, which has been around for,
that's not real though. That's completely fake.
Well, it's fake.
There's never actually been Otakon versus AX drama.
Let me phrase that. There is a said person within one organization that tried to start drama with other said organization, which was funny as hell. But we're not going to talk about that.
This is me not talking. Nope, not touching that one.
Kathy the Goth in the chat goes, there are people who hate it, AX. There are people who hate
everything. Everything. Like, fuck the haters. No, really. Fuck the haters.
I mean, what's the classic phrase? Screw this, I'm going to create my own con with blackjack and hookers. No. They want to create a con without any drama.
You want to know how cons get made in the real world and anything at that level of production comes to being? Go watch an AMV called High School Never Ends to Orin High School. That right there could be a goddamn documentary. Because that is how shit gets done.
Sad to say, it really is.
Really is. High school never ends.
Someone said AX 2008 sucked or something, and they said they never want to return. We get let me phrase that.
Take a number. Take a number.
Yeah. When I was with AX, I got that all the time. Hell, I got people yelling in my face that when I was running AX Live, that it fucking blew.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, you guys gotta remember, like, amongst all the drama, I mean, we talk shit because, that's the world we're from. So, frankly, I don't know, maybe it's a little arrogant, but we kind of feel entitled to talk a little bit of shit.
Yeah.
But every single person who's involved in that community who actually makes that transition from like, pseudo kind of sort of volunteer to staff in any group work their asses off.
Yes.
And it is a thankless job. Thankless. Absolutely thankless. Because for every fan that hates you, there's somebody who loves you because of something you did. For every fan major uproar about how you did something well, there's 10 industry guests who are pissed off at you and will never work with you again. For every industry guest that loves you because you did what they wanted, there's a body of fans that came to a show that never got what they wanted and lost out on a bunch of money. For everybody that went to an event and came from cross country and spent all that time and money as a small as a teenager and ended up getting left outside, there's a bunch of industry people who also got screwed on the same deal and nobody's allowed to talk about it. Like,
the amount of shit that you and I have seen.
Once you cross that line where it becomes about production and not about just showing up to a con and having fun, you have to take the good with the bad, and everybody does that. The one thing I'll say is even the nasty, grimy, slimy, in the gutter stuff that goes on between some of these groups, believe it or not, is all done for love. It's all done for love.
It really
all of them
is.
love it.
I worked at Anime Expo for 7 years. Most of that was with the AV team. And, Carl and I can attest to that. We went through hell every single year. Even when it's like November, we're still going through hell dealing with political BS.
But even when it crashes and burns, you still leave. If you've done it right, you still leave thinking that even though if there's people who are no longer in your life because of the drama that's gone down, it was still time well spent, and it was no better people to spend it with.
Damn straight.
Because nobody gets it, right? The community formed first before it became a con.
Case in point, I'll give you the behind the scenes. Carl and I had the idea and went through some of the worst hell I've been through to launch AX's Battle of the Bands. We had to fight tooth and nail for 9 months just to get the funding for the board.
Pony Canyon, I still cut myself at night. It's your fault.
Dealing with guests for the first time. I will say this. I still remember.
And the Seaman. But now he has his own con, so we don't have to deal with it.
Yeah, there we go. But I'll say this. As much hell as we went through for that, the moment the first band started playing and the crowd went nuts, we were going crazy in the back because we were like...
We were in tears.
Yeah.
We were crying. We were literally crying.
It actually worked.
Grown fucking men. We were in each other's arms bawling.
Yep.
Like,
good times.
Whoa. So somebody else thought this was a good idea? Holy crap, how did that happen? And now it's back because Gio's running it.
Yeah. Jeff
and Gio, like, if you guys don't know Gio is actually, like, if anybody who's ever remotely involved with that event or with AX Idol, like, the dude with the long hair who is, like, the super, like, recording tech, Death Metal Ninja, who, like, also actually owns his own recording studio and does a bunch of stuff on the side, he is, like, the Grandmaster Czar of both of those events now. So, like, I have absolutely no qualms about it. They're going to be awesome because he's, like, jumped in with both feet and he's just, like, meddling it all the way.
Yeah,
and
Jeff knows his stuff.
Yeah. Like, I remember when he got handed it, silently, about a year and a half ago when, like, the prep started getting made, and he immediately hit both of us up and was like, I need all of it now. What do you have? Footage, contacts, whatever. We're making it happen. Pull out all the stops. Let's do it. And it's just, it's going to be rad.
Yeah.
It's going to be rad. And it's really cool to know that it's still going on.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we passed the baton after 5 years thinking it would crash and burn, which it did for a year, and now it's in Jeff's capable hands. So I give him massive props. I'm looking forward to it.
Hiatus. Didn't crash and burn.
Hiatus. There we go.
Frankly, there's a lot of stuff that did crash and burn during that time that because we didn't try to push it, it's still around.
True. Very true.
And we will leave.
We will leave
He who must not be named out of that conversation because fuck that guy. Fuck that guy.
Yeah. So, I mean, to wrap up that whole rant, I'll just basically say every single con, regardless of what it's based on, has a crap load of drama. But even within all that, you will find a ton of people who actually, genuinely care.
All of them do.
Yeah.
The only reason the drama happens is because people are opinionated. And when you're opinionated about something you love, you don't want to yield.
Which has caused a lot of problems.
That's all it is.
I mean, it was partially part in fact for the reasons why I decided to leave the SPJA, so.
But that's all right.
But that's all right, because the show I helped start with Brian Yang is gone after next week.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's a very bittersweet moment for me. But
Well, who knows where else that'll go?
yeah. I mean, I have no idea what to expect from it.
Hey, wise man said, ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Thank God that bullshit is gone from us.
I'll just say this. I will say this. The work that I've done with the entire crew on AX Live was, memorable.
And at least everybody on the crew, even when y'all had beef, was always in good faith.
This is true.
This
is true.
The only reason blows happen is because everybody wanted to have a good show.
Yeah. Exactly. And you know what? I'm proud of what I, did and what I accomplished. Proud of the people I worked with, and I left it in someone's hands, and that's all I can do. I got this show now, so
And that, you know how that is. You know how that's not their fault.
No.
You know how it is.
It's the hand they were dealt, and I'll leave it at that.
There will be something else. Always something else.
Anime Guy 4, what do y'all think of Jun Maeda over at Key Visual Arts? I don't have any say one way or another on that. That's something I'm not really known about. Sorry about that.
Sorry, man.
Let's talk about. We were talking about this at the beginning. Tokyo Anime Fair was last week, and there was a lot of cool stuff that happened during there. We started talking about it, then we got to My Little Pony, and we went on a tangent.
Yep.
God,
so much.
A lot of great stuff, was announced during then, and subsequently, I believe around the same time was the Anime Contents Expo, or ACE. And that was crazy for the sole fact that some companies were giving away for absolutely free, Blu-ray previews of their upcoming series, like 2 full episodes, like a month and a half before they're actually shown on TV.
Trying to move that product.
Given away for free. And it's like insane. Like Production IG with our Gargantua on the Virtuous Planet. They gave away 2 episodes for free. There was another series that was doing the exact same thing. I give them props on that. But back at Tokyo Anime Fair, they were showcasing a new product that to some may seem very cool. To others, I look at it and going, what in the hell were you thinking? You guys all know what Itachas are. Basically, you skin a car with your favorite anime characters. They now have these things called Ita suits, where on the outside, it's a normal 2-piece or 3-piece suit. But on the inside, in the lining, you could have any anime character or design you want.
And you know where this is going.
Oh, I know exactly where this is going. It's going to get... How dark is this going to get?
Oh, it's going to get like, when you can dress up like the girl from Minmo Sign, but also have your pinstripe on and go to a fucking business meeting and then hit on some chick and show her the inside of your suit jacket and then fuck her in the coat closet. Because that's going to be awesome. I don't know about you, but like... yeah.
I don't know. I look at it
like I'm gonna roll to Japan for a business meeting, or I'm gonna roll someplace for a business meeting and have to have like a prefab before some like risk assessment, general, and
right.
I'm gonna totally get my presentation and be legit on the outside, and then I'm gonna just kind of go like this, and like somebody's gonna follow me out, and that's gonna be my entertainment for the evening. It's gonna be rad. You know why? Because I am a degenerate. Yeah.
And that's why we're good friends. No, I look at it and going, okay.
There'll be video. It's cool.
Okay, thank you.
I want to cut, but there'll be video. And now I'm never getting late again.
Yeah, you say that now. But these are completely custom-made suits, and they're going to cost upwards of like $1,000 for a suit. But then again, if you want a really nice suit, you're going to pay upwards of $1,000 for a nice suit.
I got a $2,000 silk suit.
Yeah, I know you do, you bastard. But yeah, there's a company that you can actually order these from, and some people might, like I said, some people might say $1,000 for a custom suit with your favorite anime character on the inside. That's way too much, but it's a custom suit. Now, will I get one? I'm gonna keep quiet on that.
And will she be from Lucky Star? And will she have pink hair?
Actually, I was thinking Nabiki from Bravo 1/2, but
okay,
I'll pull that out.
Okay. Why you gotta hate on a brother like that?
Because you'd be insanely jealous and yeah, exactly.
Oh god, if I made a chick wearing an Ibiki suit, it's gonna happen. I don't give a fuck.
Well, let's talk about Tom and Toonami. It's been announced that the avatar, Tom, that's voiced by Steve Bloom, is going to get finally a new outfit, new design, new absolution, new ship, which is great because since their relaunch a year ago, they've been utilizing.
You mean their relaunch?
Hey, what they did during April Fool's was freaking amazing.
That was amazing.
Yeah. Yes. When it came back, it was awesome, and I might not appreciate all of the series that they're showcasing every single Saturday night, but I'll watch what I enjoy. But they've been reusing the same old stuff from the late '90s since then. He's finally getting brand new stuff. Yeah, it's money. Cartoon Network did not want to spend any more money on this. I can't say new endeavor.
Industry's taking a dive, right? Purchase orders getting different. Now Netflix is the model. Different. I get that.
The thing is, there's still a fan base, and apparently a decently strong one. Last week, they took out some of their standard showings to showcase Evangelion 1.11.
Right.
At 1 a.m.
Right.
And at 1 in the morning, they had almost 1 million viewers. I would not expect that.
It's back to Ronin Warriors at 1 a.m. on HBO. You remember that shit?
Oh my god. Or at midnight on Sci-Fi, back when it was actually Sci-Fi.
Yeah, and they actually played better stuff than a lot of people did. Especially if going back to the Michael era, you could find Akira and original Gits and stuff playing on fucking old school Animonday.
Yep. So yeah, not only is Tom getting an upgrade, but they announced another change to the lineup. They're going to re-air IGPX. If you guys remember that, it was actually a pretty unique endeavor in the sense that Cartoon Network was teaming with a production company in Japan to work on a brand new series. I give Cartoon Network props for not only going through with this, but actually picking a top-notch studio, Production IG. The series had its moments. I'll be nice.
Yeah, let's go with that.
I'll give them props. The fact that they're bringing it back, I guess it was inevitability. Just try to save money because they don't have to pay anybody because they own the rights to it.
Right.
So.
And gotta get that value.
I mean, they are showing Soul Eater. I'll give them props on that. They're still showing Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop. Yep.
Cowboy Bebop.
I love Steve.
Ghost in the Shell standalone complex.
I love Steve, especially since I own his copy of the Cowboy Bebop Knocking on Heaven's Door script.
Yes, you do. And you actually paid a decent.
I paid $500 for it,
which is actually a steal considering what how many people you got on that.
Perry was going to take me a little higher, but
I had enough money on me to go up to 300. And then Perry went to 4, and I went, I'm out. And then you went to 5, and I went,
No. I walked out and came in on 5 and looked at him and was like, you want to do this? And he was like, damn it, I know how much money he makes. No, I'm done.
See, if I had a little bit extra money, and I was going to go against you on that even farther, I could have been the asshole and went, I know how far he can go. Therefore, I'm going to go higher than I know I can pay because I know that you'll have to pay.
You could have been that dick. It's true.
No, I wouldn't. So.
But I mean, the money still would have gone to a good place.
Exactly. But yeah, good times on Cowboy Bebop. I'm glad that Toonami's back and they're doing what they're doing. I'm just hoping.
I got to show you I have another memorabilia thing that I got from an auction. I got from AOD 2 years ago.
Animation on display, or
the SFCon, the HanksCon.
Yeah.
So 2 years ago, they had an item for auction that it was great. I got it for I don't remember. I got it for under $100 or something retarded like that. Or maybe I got it for $100. Mm-hmm. It's the only piece of Spiral Knights merchandise that exists in the world. Because nobody knows what Spiral Knights is.
Right.
So it's an oil painting, pastel, really awesome of all the characters and this kind of linear, tripod.
Right.
And it's signed by all the developers, all the artists and all the developers.
Nice.
And the thing is the guy who did the painting was a fan, right? And he was selling it, just the picture as like, fan art.
Right.
And he made 5 prints. And one of the prints made its way to another con. I don't remember what the other con was. And all of the developers happened to be at that con, and they collected it, so they all signed it because somehow it kind of fell into their possession. Then one of them brought it back to the company, and they donated it. They said, yo, give this to one of our donation things. Well, it turned out that the company never decided to make an official merchandise campaign. So once they signed it, and it was donated to some other con, it was the only official piece of merchandise to ever exist from the game. But because the game had just come out, after they had the thing on merch display, they ended up just giving it, because the original company is based in SF.
Right.
So they ended up just giving it away to the closest available con, which they just dropped it off at AOD one day. And no one in the audience knew what it was, except for like one other person, and I was like, yo, $100 or, whatever it was.
Right.
And they just gave it to me. And like, yeah, it's the only piece of Spiral Knights merchandise that exists. And it's awesome because it's all the devs signed on a print of a fan-made art. That's super awesome. It's so cool. I got it framed. And
as epic as that is not your piece of of memorabilia that you own that I am the most jealous of.
Okay.
There was a certain mangaka. What series was he famous for?
Oh, he's famous for a lot of stuff.
Well, the one that you have.
You don't mean the Steve Bloom copy?
No.
Wait.
Tengo.
Yeah. The Tengo Tenjin thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's...
And he was at a con.
Yeah.
And you met up with him. You were working it, so you're hanging out with him for a bit and whatnot. He knew you. And what did he do?
You were the observer. You should tell.
He was like, hey, do you guys want autographs? Like, get a little autograph and whatnot. And he goes, well, I got this. I got your, like, I think it was like volume 4 or something like that.
No, it was the first one. It
was the first one?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Volume 1.
Of the DVD with the plastic in the front?
No, the manga.
Oh, yeah.
Manga. And you go...
Which is fucked up because it's the Japanese one, so I can't read his copy.
Which is why I'm studying, which is why you see the book right there. And he goes, okay, cool, I'll sign this. Well, now I'm going to sign this, but they inked...
No, hang on. So the backstory of this is this dude gave a panel, right? And this is... God, how long ago was this? 2004?
4, yeah.
4 or 5? Something like that? 4, I think. We ran this guy's panel, and nobody knew who he was, because this was his first American release that he'd done with Tokyo Pop before Tokyo Pop went under.
And we felt bad because at this room that has 1,000 seats, there's only maybe 100 people.
Yeah, there was like nobody in this room, because nobody knew who he was, right? And during, like, we had like 2 mics.
Right.
And during his whole spiel, we had sent one of the mics over for another larger panel that needed it. Because we run an AV. It was just the 2 of us. Everybody else was off break. We had no programming staff because they were in changeover. And the mic broke. The contact between, if anybody knows how a mic works, so a mic is basically an electron magnet, right? You have a contact and a piece of metal, and the piece of metal vibrates when you talk into it because it's suspended by these, little, like, this wire kind of flexible substance. And as the piece of metal moves against the contact produces a vibration, which gets picked up by the amp, and that produces a signal, right? So, aside from the science lesson, the mic broke. We ended up taking it apart and fixing it because the elastic substance had broken down, and, like, proof that we've been doing this way too long, we ended up fixing the rim around the contact with a stick of chewing gum, and put put the foil from the chewing gum underneath the contact so that it could tap the other bottom, and then turn the gain way down, turn the volume way up, and it did the job. We'd done this actually before, which is why we knew that trick on a band gig that we had to do. But this guy, who spoke no English, apparently saw this when we were fixing it, and thought it was the shit. He thought it was fucking amazing. It was fucking magic, right? Had no idea. We were like, whatever. This is our thing. Like,
it's what we
do. It's our job. This is what we get. This is what we're supposed to do. Whatever.
I left that you were gonna say we get paid for.
Yeah,
no,
we don't get paid for that shit. But this is our mission, right?
Right.
So then we were walking around in the vendor hall, like later on the day after, and he was signing autographs. And that was when he was like. And he taps his translator guy and sends him after us. And he didn't recognize you, and he didn't know he was pointing at me. Right. And he pulled us both aside and was like, hey, the guest wants to come speak to you. And I was like, What'd we do? I've seen this movie. I get fired first. I'm the black guy. What the fuck? Right?
We've had way too many close calls with guests at AX. We'll get to that later, but go.
Yeah. So we get pulled over there, and he literally hands me Volume 1 of Tokyo Tribes with the inside front cover hand-drawn in all pencil and signed on the bottom.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he just bows and hands it to me. I didn't know what to fucking do. I lost it.
No. But you're missing one final part of that.
Okay.
Because you remember, with the use of his translator, he went, thank you guys so much and whatnot.
Right.
But this is not enough. The company that printed this messed up on the ink, on the inking of a certain scene, like halfway through the volume.
Yeah.
He sits there with a pen and re-inks the freaking page for him.
That's great.
He's like
There's a little diagonal cell on the bottom of the page.
The only, that's a one-of-a-kind thing. And he only had one, and I was not going to be the dick and say, can you make two? No, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
But you have that, and I'm like, oh.
But he did take his time to meet us and do the whole thing, but
True.
It was pretty ridiculous. It was pretty
was.
awesome. I still have that. Of course. It's in a little display case that I have made out of glass. And,
God, all of the con stories of dealing with goes.
I still say, like, the person who has the best merch of all of our early days is Mark, as much as you may or may not have leftovers, like, that gel he has.
I give Mark massive props. When Kota Hirano showed up after a panel in 2005, Mark, the now CEO's SPJA, went up with this cell that had...
No, he didn't go up. He just bought it, remember?
That's right, he just bought it with the
It was funny because at the time, Mark hadn't even seen Hellsing yet, and this is when it was new.
Yeah.
It was brand new. He hadn't seen it, and he just thought the picture was cool, so he bought it and had planned on watching the show later.
Afterwards, yeah. It was a cell of Alucard pointing a gun sideways. You probably have a wallpaper of this.
Yeah, it's a sick picture. It's an awesome picture.
Cool
But it's a full cell version. It's custom, it's reanimated, so it's got all it's a cell, so it's glossy. It's really shiny. It's got the whole gel backing to it.
Yep.
It's beautiful.
Kota Hirano's on the stage after his panel. There's nothing else going on after for like another half hour. He is signing autographs and whatnot. He has his pens and whatnot.
And his pens are the gold and the silver
paint.
Yeah.
And then Mark was up there and signs it. And he goes, oh, and he starts looking at it. And then takes the time, takes it in the back.
No. Remember,
in the back.
As they left the panel, so they're giving the panel.
Oh,
right?
okay.
The panel ends. And he leaves, surrounded by, our, who I'm still sworn to secrecy about, our security staff. The people that make sure that the goes get where they need to go without without having problems.
Yes.
And one of his, his right-hand man, one of his custom handlers that they flew out from Japan, comes back into the room as we're starting the next panel.
You're right.
And is like, I need that. And we're like, what is going on? No, this is personal. Like, what? Like, we're techs. What's going on? So the guy takes the gel, and he says, I will return it to you later. Doesn't tell him what's going on. Mark is like, okay. The guest gets what he wants. It's all good. And at that point, he was down to give it to him because he had just bought it. It cost him, like, what, $30? $30,
yeah.
Something like that. He had no idea. They ended up taking that all the way back to Green Room.
Mm-hmm.
When dude was chilling after his public appearances for the day.
Yep.
And he sat there with his gold and his silver pen, mostly silver.
Yep.
And over the laminated gel, this beautiful print, re-etched Alucard by hand.
No.
Huh?
The priest.
Yeah.
Because he pointed the other way.
Yeah. So Alucard's here. He outlined Alucard. And then he drew the priest into the frame.
Yeah.
And then signed it on the bottom in this giant, 11 by 17 perfect gel.
Yeah.
And went to his hotel. He went to our hotel room, because we were all sitting in the same hotel room, that night, and handed it over.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. I'm jealous of you with the manga. I'm jealous of him for that cell.
He wins. He wins the gel. He wins the I'm Jelly Bro contest for that.
Yeah, I mean, I have some cool stuff, but not that nice. So.
No. I mean, but that's just memorabilia. Honestly, one of my most favorite memories of all time, as far as hookups when working the con, aside from just other stuff we still won't talk about.
Yeah, we won't talk about. I know exactly which ones you're talking about.
I know you do. You were at all of them. Is when me and Josh got to hang out with the original writer and concept designer for both the manga and the show of not Elfen Lied, Eureka 7.
I still have a shirt signed by him.
Yeah, I remember you got that shirt.
Yeah, it was during the auction. Like,
Yeah, it's too small for you. You got to frame it.
so I did frame it, just sitting in the closet.
But no, he that was when the show had just finished.
Yeah,
Remember, because I'd never seen the show,
and I was raving at
kind of
you,
started to read it.
Yeah.
And you guys were like, "You need to finish the show," and I spent my break, or sleep. Lol, what sleep? And marathon. And
there's no such thing as sleep at a con.
Yeah. And the day before, marathon the whole show, and it was just like, oh, such an awesome show because it just ended.
Right.
And then he did the panel in our room, remember? And we got to hang out with him because that was right after you would like kind of sort of become important. And then they'd taken him to lunch.
Yeah, that was weird.
And then he came back and spent the next hour going to the other room with me and Josh. And Rika was still working translation. So we walked up after the panel and was like, hey, can you ask him a question for us? And she was like, yeah, no problem. Like, because Rika, Rika was
which, by the way, Rika Takahashi is not only epic, but she's an amazing translator to the point where most of I say a good chunk of the anime that you watched, mid-90s and whatnot, she was the one that translated, especially Cowboy Bebop.
She's also really hot.
Yep.
I can say that because I say it to her face. It's okay.
Well, this is true.
Rika's my girl for life, but she's really hot. I forget what her Twitter is, where I'd plug it and be like, "Oh, follow her." But yeah, so I was like, "Yo, me and Josh have a question."
Right.
And she was like, "Yeah, you boys are fam. Don't worry about it." So she translates this question for us. And if you've ever seen Eureka 7. When you watch the show, the entire show, if you remember it, I don't know how long back your memory goes, never mind the manga, and now that it's been expanded with the second season, they never fully explain why Norbu, the enemy guy, or not Norbu, who's the general guy?
I know who you're talking about.
Norbu's the brother.
Yeah.
Has a reactor in his chest.
Oh, yeah.
Because Renton has his, but he has one in him. And then he has motive to why he has it and all this other, but they never explain where he got it. And so we ask him, yo, why does Norbu have, the one that's in Norbu's chest that he steals from the general, why does the general have one? And he explained, he was like, actually, believe it or not, that's not explained anywhere in the show, so you didn't miss anything, because we thought we just missed it. And we were like, oh, so it's in the manga. And he goes, no. There's a 4-frame segment that explains it in the manga that due to editing, I was never able to work back in on the show floor. It's not there. And literally explained this to us. He was like, yeah, you guys will probably be the only general fans that know.
I remember you telling me this after the fact.
And it turns out that the reason he had one is because when they tell the backstory of Anemone as a completely artificially created Carillion, it's not true. She's a mutated Carillion. But she's not a mutated Carillion from one of the funky shapes that they put in the show, as was originally done in the manga.
Right.
She's a mutated Carillion. She was the first Eureka.
Oh, the Attica.
And Dewey, who that's who.
Dewey, okay.
The General Dewey was the first Renton. And they failed. That's why all the animosity between him and I'm going to wipe them all out and him and an enemy and how an enemy's all fucked up.
Gotcha.
That, aside from the drugs that they give her. That's why.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
And no one knows that.
Okay. Wow, it's been an hour. So let's wrap this up just because it's that kind of episode. Let's talk about embarrassing
the first person crazy envy.
No. A unique experience with a go at AX.
Oh,
I'll go first. I have a number, and you guys have been watching. You know my story with Yu Asakawa.
Yeah, you told that one?
I've said it numerous times. They know this one.
I can't reach around. Have you told your dinner with Vic yet?
No. I'm not talking about that.
You know you want to.
No. I'm going to talk about 2005.
Okay.
This was the year that Clamp was there.
Oh, I know this story. This is an awesome story. So glad I opened that door.
Okay, so There was at the time I was working LP1 at the Anaheim Convention Center for Anime Expo. Across the way on the third floor was Main Events, head by Michael Underwood. And I remember that I was asked, I forget the exact reason, that I needed to go backstage Main Events for something, which is highly restrictive. You really can't go in there even, whatever.
This has not changed. I run Main Events now.
This is
Unless
true.
I know you, not getting back there. Telling you now.
This is true, and you and I will have words about that later. Yeah. But, so, I remember, I had to go backstage for someone. I go back there, I talk to the stage manager, and they go, oh, they're not here yet. Just chill. You can sit in these seats that are sitting right here by some doors. And I forget what's going on in main events. I mean, the entire main events is packed for whatever reason. I think was it AMVs or something like that? Or something like that. Anyways, I sit back there, and I'm just in these chairs. They're like in a half circle. I'm like sitting here going, oh, okay, cool. I'll just sit here. And then the doors that are right next to it open, wide open. And this entourage of like 30 people go through, and I'm like, this looks important. I will stand up and look important and in the background, like you can't see me. So I stand up, still sitting, standing in front of the chairs. This entourage comes in. I don't recognize a single one.
This is 06, right?
Was it 06?
I think it was 06.
I think it was 06 when Clamp came.
I don't remember what year we had Clamp. Yeah.
But this entourage
Is
comes
it
in.
06 or 07? I don't remember. It might have been 07.
This entourage comes in.
The year that must not be named.
And then right behind it, no, it's 2007. And behind this entourage comes all of Clamp.
All of them.
And I'm sitting there
all
going,
the things.
Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck.
Now, what you have to understand is that, how to explain this? I'm trying to think of like a TV show that people know that are like, so before this year, like, okay, so every year there's a giant staff gathering, right, at AX, which is the big, it's a big, like, we're staff, gets like that. And then there's the, like, okay, here's what to do this year, here's what to not do this year, based on what's going on from, like, the edicts from on high.
Right.
That are like, these are the things that'll keep us and you safe, etc. And the year we had Clamp, it was the year that Clamp, it's the only time, as far as I'm aware of, before or since, that all of Clamp has ever left Japan.
I think so,
Let alone been to the States.
Yeah.
Right? So this is a massive deal. I'm talking like these people are moving from room to room with like hoods for fear of photography because the terms of their contract are like absolutely no exposure beyond what we've said.
They had a deal on the side where they had a press conference in an unlisted room where I had to go set up.
Yeah.
And they told me, they told me, go set it up, but you can't be here for the actual press conference because it's Clamp.
Yeah. No, it was that kind of deal.
Anybody who had any contact with Clamp was
so they
considered,
told all of staff in advance, like, you do anything funky, you try to find out where they are, you snap a picture when you're not supposed to, and they walk past you, you are so worse than castrated and dead. Like, you are done. Like, we will find you in the night, and you will get a Kamehameha up the hoo-ha. Like, you will not like where this is going, right? So the whole time, we were just like, avoid Clamp like goddamn AIDS. Like, fucking away from it. No.
Which is why when I saw Clamp come in, I freaked the hell out. And then I didn't realize until they showed up and walked in, I was sitting in their seats. So I instantly, like, jumped, like, 3 feet behind the seats and whatnot. And the girls will Clamp, hey, how's it going and whatnot. They're, being escorted by all their managers and whatnot. And then they saw that I was sitting in there, and they saw I had a badge. And they thought I was, like, some big guy, some huge, well, not physically, but big guy at Anime Expo, like.
Private security.
Yeah. They came to me and started shaking my hands and started, hey, oh my God, started speaking in Japanese, essentially, glad to meet you, I'm glad you're here, whatnot. I was sitting there, I have a picture.
Yeah. Because I thought you were Main Event staff.
Yeah. They thought I was I was taking a picture, I was in the middle of all of Clamp. It's all Clamp and me in a picture, and I'm going, I have never been so afraid in my entire life. And they kept on talking to me. They did their thing up on stage. It was before their panel.
Right. Because we ran the panel.
We ran their panel. They did their thing. I bolted the moment they were on stage, like back doors through the area.
Oh, I remember this. You popped out of hallway 2, out of the back end, like into like a panel you weren't even scheduled to work. I thought you were like off having fun or whatever. I was like, you just get laid, or do we have to go bury a body? What's going on?
Here's the worst part, because I was being very polite and whatnot. I gave my name and whatnot, and I had actual business cards at the time.
Oh, that's right, because you just started to get on GSC. I forgot about that. You were a consultant. You were a GSC consultant. That shit was funny.
The next day, I'm working LP1 with these guys and whatnot. And this guy comes in and goes, "Who is Jason?" And I'm like, "I'm Jason. What's going on and whatnot? Can you come with me, please?" And I'm like, "What did I do?" So I
can I leave my balls on the table so you please don't chop them off?
So I'm walking through, following this guy to the back rooms and whatnot, and I get to this one room. And it's I'm guessing a manager, and all of Clamp sitting there. And they come to me, and they go, "Thank you for a great work going on in main events." And they bow to me! I freak! Internally, I'm not going to say anything, and I...
Still hearing this story when you told it. It's great. It's awesome. Nigga lost his shit. I'd never seen him that white. He's a white guy.
I bow, like, all the fucking way. And I, in broken Japanese say, "It was a pleasure having you guys here. Thank you guys so much. I'm glad you guys showed up. I had a great time. Is there anything I can help you guys out? Let me know, or let the CEO at the time know, and we'll help you guys out." And I say, "Excuse me, I have to go take care of something. I'll be right back. Thank you very much." And I leave. And I almost vomited in the back room going, "Oh my God." Not only did they think I'm someone important, they called me back a second time.
Right.
Oh my God. And that's not the most embarrassing moment I've had at AX. I'm going to leave that for later. Carl, your turn.
Oh God. I don't even know.
I think a certain skin moment.
I knew you were going to say that. He's going to tell a fucking Gok story. I know he's going to do it. He's going to bring this shit up. God damn it. Oh, my God. Oh. And that was 2007. That was the year that... You ever talked to a staffer? You ever talked to any AX staffer who's been around since the 2007 or plus, and you say the year that was not being named, they will tell you. They know that you're talking about 2007. All right, don't ever do that. Shit is fucking Voldemort. Fuck that shit. For multiple reasons. But oh man, so 2007 was the skin year. All right,
the once and only time Skin ever performed anywhere in the world.
Yeah, and we got it. Unfortunately, it was at Long Beach, but. Another story. Whew. Wow.
I had to bring it up, man.
Yeah.
I had to bring it up.
Yeah. So, at one point, I don't even remember why I had to go track him down. At one point, something broke in some room. I don't even remember what it was, to be honest with you. I really don't. We should ask him. Let's call Michael right now and ask him. And for whatever reason, I had to ask Michael, like, some question. I don't remember what it was, and I was, God, how old was I in 2007? Fucking 20 something, 19, I fucking 20. 20, 21, 22, something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're in LP1 at the time, which was one of the conference halls in the general conference room, and those who are 2007 know that Main Events was in the arena. Mm-hmm. In the general arena. Anyway, so on my way there, in the large stage. On my way to this large stage, I got to kind of work my way back there. I don't know what's going on. And Mark, who is now the CEO, at that point was running LP1. He was the room manager, right? For other reasons we will keep quiet. Cause yeah. That's a whole nother story. We're not going to talk about DVD stories. So I'm like, crap, I got to ask Michael this question. I call him. He doesn't answer. I think I sent him a text message. He wasn't knowing what's up, and I'm like, look, he's probably in the middle of some shit. I don't want to mess with him. I don't want to be that guy. I'm just a grunt. I'm sure he's handling something serious, but I need to find him for this problem. And Mark is looking at me like, because at this point, like, it's basically me, Jay, and Mark. And Jay had been handed off to another room to handle something else that was also epic. So it was just me and Mark, and I'm like Mark's sub, and Mark's running LP1.
That was during. No, it was you before. Never mind.
Yeah.
I was thinking of the Rockman we had to deal with in LP3. We're not.
No, because you're in another. Yeah. So it's just me and Mark at this point running this room, and then Richard and folks show up to kind of relieve us.
Right.
And I'm like, look, I gotta ask this question. I wish I could remember what the question was, but he's like, look, I gotta ask this question. I don't know what's going on. And Michael's the only person I know to contact. And Mark is like, look, stop tripping. We'll just go ask him. I'm like, we can't go ask him. The only place he is in main events. We can't go in main events. Like, they got Skin going on. Because, again, this is like all the staff got the heads up. Like, Skin is happening. You will stay the fuck away from Skin, or we will hurt you, right? Like, that was.
We won't even get into the.
May Anderson has a way with words. Love her to death. She has a way with words. If she wants to put the fear of God in you, she will.
That's pretty epic at Puzzle Fighter Turbo.
She still owes me a rematch. If you out there, you owe me. Anyway, so I'm mortified. I'm like, I don't want to go find Michael in main events. I like my penis attached to my body. I'm very, very afraid right now. And Mark is like, look, we have a legitimate excuse. Shut up. We'll go handle it. So we venture into main events. And proceed to social engineer our way past the paid staff, like who are those people?
Staff Pro. The yellow shirts.
And the two suits who were private security.
That were bigger than you.
We proceed to, and I'm a big dude, right? I'm 6'7", right? We proceed to social engineer our way past those dudes. Yeah, I'm asking my boss a question. Are you working this room? Yeah, here's my stat badge. I'm working here, right? It says AV. Yeah, okay, you're good. Total BS. Only hoping that I'll get to Michael first. I finally get in the room, right? So I'm like in the hall, and like Skin is somewhere. I don't know where. And I'm like, whew. We're in. And Mark is like, okay, let's go find him. So we're walking up, and immediately I ran into Scott, who's now on my staff, because he runs video for main events. He's a great dude. And I'm like, where's Michael? This guy's like, I think he's that way. All right. So he sends us to the dressing room, because maybe he's there, right? We don't know Skin is in the building. So we go there. We're talking to the VidCam guys that we know, because they're our rental company that we hire. They're also, they provide us with contractors when we don't have staff to fill a room. They're wonderful to work with. Like, they're awesome. Yeah. But they do. They're the paid guys with all the AV that actually bring the equipment when we work with it. And the whole time, like, we were sweating bullets. We were tripping balls. I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna get fired. I'm gonna get fired right now. This is gonna happen. I'm gonna get fired. Like, Ruby or May or someone's gonna see me. They're gonna be like, that guy. That guy's known for causing shit. I'm gonna get fired. It's gonna be fucked up.
Appleseed.
What'd I say? So you weren't gonna tell that story. Relax. So we end up getting direct. I went into this dude who's like a football player of a man. This giant brother who's just like, can I help you? And I'm like, look, man, I'm looking for my boss. I have this packet of paper, which meant nothing. It was all social engineering. Look, I need to get this stuff approved. All I need to do is ask a question of my boss, and I heard he was here. I have no other way to contact him. I'm looking for him. I was told he was in the dressing room by a couple of your staff outside. And the guy goes, oh, you're with the event? Oh, come with me, sir. Cuts me off. I don't get to finish my social engineer, and he pulls me in this room. All of Skin are sitting in the back room, and there's an entree table and a drink table, and no one else except for them and their handlers. It takes all of my energy not to physically shit myself. And I'm looking at Mark like, this is your fault. I suddenly blame you, and he's like... So I'm like, look, we kind of stay quiet.
Didn't he bail at this moment?
Oh, no, he turned around and pretended to be on the phone.
Yeah, that's right.
But after we'd gotten in.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'm looking around. I don't see Michael. I go to turn around. I get from here to about here in making the fastest Negro 360 anybody has ever seen on this earth. And gawked from the back of the four is like, Fendu! So anybody who's seen me walking around Con in the old days, I had a keychain. I still have it. I have version 2 now. I don't carry it on my keys anymore. I carry it on my backpack because of some other sentimental stuff that has nothing to do with anime, so I won't bother telling it. But people have known me for a long time. They call it my tail, right? That's Carl's tail. It's Virus's tail, right? It's Conway's tail. And it's every lanyard from every con, hacker, anime, U.S. government, other government, or whatever, that I have from every con I've ever worked or attended. There's this giant tail, right? At the time, that tail was attached to my keys. And so it used to hang out in my pocket. I used to walk around con, and that was kind of my swagger. That's my swag.
Yeah.
As you may or may not know, me and Jay originally met because this guy is a badass musician, and we used to be in a band together. Mm-hmm. And we played the NAMM show, right? NAMM, right?
National Association of Music Merchants.
Which is a big deal. And at one point, we got into an after party, because it's another story I won't tell, run by Fender Guitars, right? Big name. Mm-hmm. And I had their lanyard, because it was one of the collection, on my keys. And Gott recognized it from across the fucking room. And speaking like no English, was like, Fender. So I turn around, and this dude walks up to me and tries to have a broken conversation with me in like English through his interpreter, asking me about music. Because he plays guitar, and you have this Fender lanyard, and that looks like the one from NAMM, and do you know about that? And I'm just like, I'm going to die. Fuck fire. Man is going to drag me out of here with a 30-06, and my head is going to end up on the pavement. I'm done. So I finished the conversation as courteous and as close as I can. It takes about 10 minutes. It probably took about 10 minutes. It felt like an hour. And I walk outside, and Mark is out there pretending to be on his phone, talking to no one. Security guard is just looking over his head, and he looks at me like, what the fuck did you do? It's been 10 minutes, nigga. Where you been? And I'm like, look, I don't know where Michael is, and after this shit, I'm done. Let's get out. To this day, no idea where Michael was. Don't even remember the question. I physically ran from the building. I'm talking emergency exits. I'm talking, I picked locks on the outside of the alarm, let the shit step up. I was gone. But I got to meet Gott, which is kind of cool.
There was a lot of unique events in 2007. We'll not discuss the Hodihi stuff because that was just a nightmare.
I think we're done. It's been a bit.
We're done.
Sorry for boring you. Sorry for not having a script. I happen to be in the neighborhood. I'm a troublemaker.
We decided to do this show without a script, thinking that we would not have enough content for 40 minutes. It's now been an hour and a half.
Well.
And we could probably go on for another 3 hours, but we're not. So, I'm glad you jumped on, man.
Hell yeah,
it was good times.
My boy.
Hopefully you jump on in the future episode, whether you're here or whether you're back home.
My dog, I'm down.
So, it's been absolute fun. Stay tuned for post-show. If you guys enjoy this, stay tuned every single week on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. That may change in the future. I'll let you guys know. Also, you can always check out my geek-flavored series called From My Mother's Basement, co-hosted by good friend Michael Underwood.
Highly recommended.
It's going to happen on Sundays at 5 p.m. Pacific. So you guys can check that out. But on behalf of Carl for AniBreak, I'm Jason. Thank you guys very much. And we will see you guys next week. Take it easy.